good, everybody? This is your boy Ced Banner, and this is my review of Spider-Man Homecoming. Who knows about Spider-Man and the struggle and the reboots and just the time-consuming headache that it's been. There have been some high points, of course. I think they were mostly in the Tobey Maguire era. The second era, I thought was okay. You know, I had things I loved about it and I had things I couldn't stand about it, but to me it was pretty obvious from the beginning that it wasn't going to work out. And thankfully, fans, comic fans, Marvel fans, film fans, prayers were answered, and Marvel got the rights back from Sony. So we already saw Tom Holland in action as Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, in Captain America Civil War. He was on screen not that long, but it was a lot longer than what I expected, and I think a lot of people expected. He was great, so it got a lot of people excited, a lot of fans excited for this reboot. So I will say that I was kind of in the gray area. You know, I was kind of on the side of the fence where, you know, I had kind of given up on it, and I was like, you know what, let's just leave Spider-Man alone for about a decade and then come back to him and try this again. But then, of course, I'm on the other side of that coin, where I was really ready to see Marvel get a hold of their own character and storyline and see what they would do with it, especially with the Avengers storyline. I'm going to start off with the pros here. The first pro I would definitely mention is, of course, the writing. Marvel's really got it all figured out when it comes to their storylines, their plot development, character development, and the way they weave their storylines together between their films. They've got it figured out, and this film just furthers that. Nothing changes. I thought that it was great, from Michael Keaton's character, the Vulture, to, of course, you know, Peter Parker being brought into the fold by Tony Stark, and Tony Stark's kind of being this father figure to him. Everything just blended together and worked together so well. Another kudos to the right. Special effects were great. And what I really enjoyed about them is, you know, in these big blockbusters, especially superhero and comic flicks, sometimes they get so over the top that it's hard to tell what's going on, or it's just kind of messy. It's a little too much to process all at once. That's not the case here. This film is so cleanly shot. You know, nothing fancy with the cinematography or anything. It's just really basic and there, you know, right there in your face. What you see is what you get. And I appreciate it. I will mention is just how funny this film is. It was surprising. Very funny film. I mean, a lot of laugh out loud moments. You know, the comedic moments aren't really corny or over the top like they tend to be in a lot of comic films. Everything feels natural. The cast plays together naturally. There are a lot of surprises in here as far as the cast that I don't think were really advertised. I will say Donald Glover, my boy Childish Gambino, everyone knew he was going to be in it. People were pushing for him to play Miles Morales, of course. That did not happen. Everyone knows that. That's not a spoiler. But he is in the film, and they didn't announce who he's playing. All I'll say is, you comic kids will, well, I don't know if you'll be pleased, but you'll recognize who he is as soon as you hear it. First off, the great Michael Keaton. That's the biggest reason I was excited about this film once I heard the casting, especially hearing that he was going to be the villain here, he was going to be the antagonist. Michael Keaton does his thing. I mean, the man's great. I don't know if he's ever been in a role that I didn't enjoy, or that I didn't almost love, or did love. I mean, we're talking about, for me, people in my age bracket, he's the original Batman. But as the Vulture here, he's great, and his storyline, I really like. I'll just say that, and yeah, watch it and you'll see. Last pro, the twist. There are a couple of twists, 2 or 3 twists here, things that I just wasn't expecting, and just judging from the response of everybody in the screening I attended, no one was really expecting them, and that really elevated this film, because, you know, you really don't get twists that really surprise you anymore, especially in comic flicks. Marvel outdid themselves here as far as keeping some things secret, and the timing of them revealing a couple of things was really on. As far as my cons, very short list. Not even really a list, actually. I can only think of really one con with this film, in my opinion. What bothered me was that when it came to the interaction between Tom Holland, Peter Parker, and Michael Keaton, the Vulture. When they were on screen together and when they were talking, not the fight scenes, but when they were just talking, those scenes were very intense, and I really enjoyed that. And I would have liked to have gotten more of that. I felt like their interaction may have been a little rushed, and I can understand it because of all the other, writing that was being fit into the film here, into the runtime. But I would have liked to have seen a little more interaction between them. And yeah, that's really my only con. I can't think of anything. My rating for Spider-Man Homecoming is this. It's finally the Spidey you have always wanted, and or movie's really firing on all cylinders. And for a film that's following, so many efforts and reboots, I was just really impressed. It starts off in high gear. It starts off very cleverly, and you'll see what I mean when you watch it. And it just continues it all the way through. This film is a little bit smarter than I expected it to be. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. If you want to see it, you're gonna go see it regardless of what any critic or any review says. But just for me, until my next review, hey.